Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of my show. Today, I'm very, very excited to introduce you to Chloe Haywood of the Upcycled Cloth Collective community. Chloe, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and about your business?
Yes, of course. So I am Chloe Haywood, as of my namesake, my brand, Chloe Haywood London. I'm based in Somerset, in England, which is confusing because my name says London. But that's because um, I started out as a millinery brand and still am a millinery brand, and the USP for making my hats was the fact that I upcycled a lot of my elements, and that was 10 years ago when I started up. And yeah, it was just starting to become interesting to people, this idea of sustainable fashion. Upcycling was a buzzword at the time, but nobody really understood what it meant. Um, and then 5 years in, it was really starting to kick off. Um, so at that time, I was commuting to London and selling my hats there. And then recently we moved to Somerset, which is an amazing place. It's in the Mendip Hills where we live, in the middle of nowhere. It naturally lends itself to a sustainable way of life, which was what we really wanted. Um, we get vegetables from the farm, it's all organic, it's just grown. Um, it's just very easy to live that way. And my business has sort of turned a corner in that I now sell and make, still upcycled, more homeware and fashion accessories, such as recently I launched my bangles, but my biggest seller at the moment is cashmere hot water bottle covers,
Oh,
which,
wonderful.
yeah, they're really nice, and I've got a sort of I'm surrounded by them at the moment. I'm preparing for Christmas, would you believe it? I'm
Do you
actually
want to show us one maybe? We'd love to see
yeah.
them.
See if I can grab one. Oh, I know where there's one. Here we are. So that's a quite a sober version of them. So I buy my cashmere, which is they are pretty. Pretty worn away bits. Those are the organised ones, isn't it? They've got holes in. They are unwashed donations that are given to a charity, and I email the charity and say I would like to buy loads of straw hats, straw jumpers, what have you. And I always pick a textile, and then I wait, patiently wait. Usually it's about 3 months before they email me and say we've got something for you. And then I drive over there and sort through a massive container worth full of all the stuff that they can't sell in their charity shops, which would normally just go into landfill. I think they do upcycling workshops as well, but there is so much you can get through with upcycling, isn't there? So they get some money back as well, which is great.
Yes, I think that's wonderful that your supplier is a social enterprise, so that the money that you're spending on resources actually goes to supporting people in need. So that's a really great business model you've got right there. Your supply and your source is also socially aware, which is awesome. And
What's interesting, yeah.
so
Sorry.
you've had your business a long time. Do you ever find that there's a barrier to entry selling to people because you're working with upcycled resources, or uh, and do people feel they should be paying less for it because it's an upcycled resource and not something new? Okay, so I asked the question, do you ever have people say that they feel that your product should be cheaper because you're using upcycled resources?
Well, that's a really good question. The pricing aspect is so difficult. I think um, with anything that you're creating, it is hard because, especially when you're in the design stage, it's really hard to time yourself because you haven't quite worked it out yet. And with my cashmere, you know, people hear cashmere and they think £100, and it's for me, it's always been my phrase was I don't want to cost the earth. So I try and make everything affordable as much as possible. I haven't had anyone. In fact, the only people that worried about the price was people buying my hats, because obviously with a luxury brand, your markup is a lot more than if it's a luxury product is a lot more than if it's a smaller gift item. So it's a little easier to deal with. But my bottles, at the beginning, I had no idea that they would be as popular as they are, and I probably did price them a bit too cheap. And then last Christmas, I, for whatever reason, my own price that I was selling people to for wholesale, and they were marking up to VAT prices to help them out, which was fine for me. I was okay. But then I saw that they were selling really well at their prices, and I was thinking, oh my goodness. So I've had to rejig things, but it's all a dialogue. So I've had to very carefully talk to people and say, this is what's happening. And this year, my year is about hot water bottles. That's basically it. That's all I can ever think about. So through this lockdown period, it's been an absolute gem for me because things have slowed down and I've been able to work out a manufacturing plan and get everything in place as shops begin to open, as they are this week. They're starting to open up now, and I feel so much more prepared. But yeah, it's always so difficult, the pricing. Do you sell products?
So the reason I ask that question is because I've sold products for many, many years. And during that time, pricing was always a big challenge for me. And I speak to so many makers who struggle with it that I've actually got a group on Facebook called Costing and Pricing Your Products that you might want to look at, because we actually have a conversation there. What's interesting to me is how many maker sellers only include the cost of their raw materials when they work out their pricing. And they just kind of don't look at things like overhead costs, their own time costs, things like that, that they're too scared to even look at that, because a lot of people say that by the time they've included all of those things, they then can't find customers. Because all of us who are making anything to do with textiles are ultimately fighting that culture of buying cheap from countries where ultimately products are made by slave labor effectively. So it's kind of a global challenge, and it's part of the reason that I've started these groups and these narratives, because I think the beginning of the change is to change the dialogue. So yeah, that's where we're at. I find it very interesting that you say you didn't see the hot water bottles coming.
It really, the reason why I made this was because I had some leftover bits from making some beanies, which were selling very well. Um, and yeah, I can't bear waste. If I say any of my offcuts, I keep because they will be for something else. So I've got a stack of offcuts from making these to make Christmas decorations, for instance.
Okay,
Um, so I use
that's
everything.
that's
Um,
wonderful.
them.
No, not in my mind. I think you're doing a great job. I think you're doing a great job. Do you ever sell the beanies with the hot water bottles?
Ah, that's a good idea. No, I haven't. I haven't done that. That's a really nice idea. Thank you very much.
Make a matching set.
Yeah. What I have done though is to have extra covers, which is a thought process. So get lots of lovely colours made up, and then have your potty, and then you can choose a pack of 3 covers,
Yes.
which is a good idea. They've been so popular, I think, because they're so small, so you can pop them in a handbag, and people can take them to work and just have them, sort of a tummy ache or whatever. But they're also just a great gift item for babies to warm up the bed before the baby gets in. But people just love feeding them.
And
Yeah,
what's
it's funny, isn't it, how you make something and you don't think it's anything special,
yes,
but if we knew,
yes,
we'd be millionaires, I suppose.
yes. What I love about it is that you're talking to a need. You're responding to a need in the market instead of just saying, okay, I'm a milliner, I'm going to make hats, and that's all I'm ever going to make. You're listening to your market, asking them what they need, and then making that. I think, especially at the moment, that's how businesses are going to survive and thrive.
I
So, what's
agree.
your favorite part of working with upcycled textiles?
I think the best bit about it is the problem solving aspect of it. You're constantly trying to work something out. Um, and doing the bottles, it's a bit of a holiday because I've worked it out and I've got my pattern and I can just sew. Um, but things like this, for instance, in the mix of all these jumpers, I occasionally get a beret, and so I've got this lovely vintage bit of applique, which I think came off a circus costume. It's gorgeous, and I've had it probably about 8 years in my stash, and I finally decided that this is going to be one of my Christmas hats.
It's
Um,
fabulous.
it's great, isn't it? So
Yeah.
that's when I'm bored of doing hot water bottles, I'll hand sew that for a bit. Um, but yes, so yesterday I went to fill up one of my shops, um, which I was going to mention earlier when we were talking about pricing. When you rent a space in a shop, it's an ideal way to test product and price and your labelling and all of that. It's been invaluable actually, so that when I've decided I've tried out a product, I've made it, I like it, the kids like it. I take some photos and then I share a few pictures on Instagram. Um, and the stories is very good. The Instagram stories are saying, do you like this? Do you like that? And the initial feedback, yes, no, is so useful. And then I listen to that, tweak it a bit, and then I put it in my shop, and then I see what will happen with the customers. And today's the first day that the customers will see some of my new products, which is great because that's instant, isn't it? You can just
Yes.
pick up a product, try it on. It's not pretty pictures. Um, but what were you saying? I've gone off on a tangent.
No, that's wonderful. And I hear you saying that you use Instagram for market research. Is Instagram working for you for sales also?
I wouldn't say direct sales, but I think it helps the traffic go to your website, and it opens up those channels. And certainly, um, it opens your bag for the social aspect of connecting with other artists and people doing what you're doing. Um, and I love your group because it is what it is, because so many, there's a lot of people on Instagram that say they're upcycling, but maybe 90% is and 10% isn't. And they may only do that for a few products, but it's pure upcycling, and that's what I really like about it. Um, but with Instagram, you've got the sort of friendly business side, I would say, whereas Twitter is full on businessy and direct. But then you can talk to people that you really want to talk to. It is tricky knowing if you are talking to that person on social media a lot of
Yes.
the time, these social media managers and whatnot. But for me, I found it really good recently through this lockdown period, getting to know people. It's been a different way of working. Before you posted something at a certain time because that's when they were having a glass of wine or when they were picking up the kids or what have you. Now we don't have that, so it's like not sure where anyone is. So you just have to go with the flow, but you do find that you're just constantly looking at your phone all the time. Oh God, I've got to be sewing again.
I find it very, very interesting that you framed lockdown as an opportunity for yourself. I've spoken to a lot of people who've complained about the lockdown quite bitterly, and it's very interesting to hear you saying that you've enjoyed the fact that it's allowed you to slow down a bit and just think things through better.
Yes, and I think that I mean it's a worrying time because we still don't know. One child is back at school, two are not, and then we've got summer holiday. And my husband's out of work; he's freelance as well, and you've got to find. I think I'm always the optimist because there is always something out there that you can use. And for me, yes, I'm homeschooling in the morning, but I do get the afternoon with me in the workshop. Um, and so I've got a bit of time, but it has definitely, like you said, it's slowing down aspect. And I feel that a lot of the people that I work with, they've also slowed down. There's no pressure, and we can do it when everyone's ready. And there's an understanding that people have children. It's always an embarrassment that, oh, I've got to go and pick up the kids, and how will they react if I say that? Which is an awful thing to say, but the reality is people have their children at home whilst they're working, and we've got to educate them and get on with doing all the other things like the washing up and running a house.
Yes.
Um, I would say it was probably as busy, but we don't have to get into the car to do anything. It's all here. But we are lucky that we do have a fantastic garden and we can sit outside for lunch and we can go on a bike ride and hardly see anyone down the back roads. So that is a treat. Um, so yeah, it can't go on forever like this for people's mental health, and the world will stop turning if we all stop. And we've just got to be more sensitive to what's going on around us, I think. And I think it can only help if we're doing a business in sustainability. I think it can only help us. And I know that it sounds really crass to say that, but people are really thinking about the basics now.
Yes.
Even thinking like a friend of mine really liked doing workouts in the gym. She didn't have any dumbbells at home, and then she saw a Zoom class that she could take part in, and it was using a car battery to do weights. And it's
Yes.
just thinking about things in a different way, and I loved it. I really
Yes.
loved that idea.
Yes. Yes.
It was really hard work.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But
And maybe there's an idea for another product there. You can make fabric-lined dumbbells for people who work out at home.
landing.
Yes, little sandbags.
Good idea.
I love it.
Yeah.
Chloe, how long have you been a member of the Upcycle Cloth Collective?
Oh, now that's the question. I think it's not been that long. It may be maybe about 3 years or something. I'm not sure how long
3 years.
it's been. Yeah.
That's quite long in the history of the group because we've only been around 4 or 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
It's
you've seen
great.
it.
I love it.
Oh, yay, yay. So you've seen it grow and develop.
Yes. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for weathering all of that with us. I appreciate it so much. So I see we're coming near the end of our time. Um, where can we find you on the social networks? And would you like to say just a few words in closing?
Yeah, so, well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a delight to talk to you. It's so nice to see a face.
I feel the same.
Someone other than my family, which are lovely. But so you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. If you search Chloe Haywood London, you'll find me on those networks. And then my website is simply chloehaywoodlondon.com.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.